All of these people have said things at some point that have upset the left, and then they get called right-wing. None of these people are right-wing. All of them are far too left for my liking, right? But they've gone right-wing. They haven't gone right-wing. They've just stepped out of line with one or two talking points that you're just not... You all have to be on the same page on every last thing, or you're right-wing, which equals bad, right? But they all still get away with it. They never actually get cancelled because they are good little lefties, really, right? They just said one thing that they shouldn't have. Trump is the main one. You have to hate Trump. You have to hate Trump and say that if you support him, you're the worst person ever. And if you call Trump Hitler, then you get extra brownie points. Like, that's what you have to do. That's the assignment. So to keep your seat at the table, you have to be pro-feminist, pro-Black Lives Matter, pro-LGBTQ+, pro-illegal immigrants coming into your country. It would be good if you're a bit of a socialist. You know, it'd be good if you're just on board with all of these things. But really, you have to hate Trump, and then it doesn't really matter if you're not on board with one or two other things. And even if you are on board with all the other things, if you say something good about Trump, well, you fucked it. That's worse than saying the N-word. So Dave Chappelle takes the piss out of trans people and the trans movement and all of that. But he's still totally on board with Black Lives Matter, and he's totally down with left-wing bullshit all day long. Hates Trump, all of it. But he's just like, what the fuck's up with this trans thing? In fact, he even uses his Black Lives Matter ideology as an excuse for why he doesn't like the trans movement. He's like, no, black people have struggled way more than you, and we don't need you telling us about struggle. So he's even left-wing in his right-wing rants that he does that aren't right-wing. He's just not going along with this one particular issue. Ricky Gervais. What's he got in trouble for? He's upset the left for the same thing, I think. He talks about trans people. He talks about woke thought policing, which is what they're doing, and says freedom of speech is important. I don't like the thought police, and some of the trans shit is pretty ridiculous. And then he gets called right-wing, and he's bad, and he should be cancelled. But he doesn't get cancelled because he's totally on board with climate change, and he'll take the piss out of Greta Thunberg, but he still promotes the idea that we're destroying the planet and all of this. You know, he's kind of feminist, he's kind of left-wing, he doesn't like Trump. Yeah, great. So he's still allowed, you know, it's like Bill Maher with the N-word. We're still going to let him. If you carry on with your show saying that Trump is Hitler, then we'll let you say the N-word. Roseanne Barr, who supports Trump, oh boy, you said something that sounds a little bit naughty on your personal Twitter account. You are dead. We're taking away your TV show because of something you said on Twitter. Because it seemed a little bit kind of racist. Meanwhile, Bill Maher said something that is like the ultimate no-go zone. You don't say the N-word. He said it on his show, still has a show, right? Bill Burr, the comedian. Oh, he's totally against the feminist movement. That's the part of the left that he does attack, even though he's a lefty, right? Oh, he just fucking rinses the feminists all day long. He rips the shit out of them. He must be a right-winger! He must be right-wing! He must be a Trumpster MAGA! No, but he's totally down with Black Lives Matter, has a black wife, all the shit, do you know what I mean? Hates Trump, all of it. Thinks Trump supporters are idiots, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So he's a good little lefty. He's fine. He's not going to lose his career. He can take the piss out of feminists, all right? But Roseanne Barr, she made the mistake of admitting in public that she loves Trump and wants him to be president. So that's why we're going to hone in on every single word she says. And if we find something that seems like it might be a tiny bit like she's trying to say something that seems a little bit racist, then you're getting fucked into the ground. You don't exist. We're taking everything away from you, all right? It's not just getting deleted off Twitter. Your entire career, your big comeback, your show that's like the most popular TV show, gone. You don't have it anymore because you said something that seems a little bit like it might have been, you know. And it's all based on the fact that she's a Trump supporter, not based on what she said. See, I'm just talking about the most famous cases of the most famous people because I know you know who I'm talking about. There's plenty of other examples of this where someone needs to be banned because they're a dangerous right-winger and they're a dangerous extremist or they're filled with hate or some shit. And it's like, one thing that I've failed to mention up until now is, by the way, if you are actually racist, you do actually have the right to be. I'm not saying it's right to be racist. I'm saying you have the right. You shouldn't get everything taken away from you just because you don't like other races of people or something. That's what freedom of speech actually is, you know? I'm not defending racism. I'm just saying you do understand that even if it was true that these people are as out of line as you're saying they are, they're actually allowed to be, you know? That's the big point that everyone misses here. So yeah, just in case you thought the rules were just don't say anything racist, don't say anything homophobic, don't say anything sexist or Islamophobic or xenophobic, and then you can keep your career, that's not really the rules. The rules are don't say anything that the left says is racist. Doesn't matter if it actually was racist. And if you do anything that upsets them, they will then call you right-wing. Or if they find out that you are right-wing, then they'll say that you're racist, homophobic, and all these things. And they'll use examples of things you said, even though other left-wingers have said equally or worse things, and they get away with it. So just in case you're like hearing people say, like, there's no such thing as cancel culture or no one's getting banned, except for, you know, people that should get banned. I love it when people admit what they're denying. Within their denial, they admit it. They go, no one's getting banned, except for those people, but they should be banned. Oh, right, so you admit that people are getting banned. There's no attack on freedom of speech. It's not censorship. It's just platforms don't want certain people, and they're private platforms, and they're allowed to ban who they want. Well, that's controlling, that's thought policing still. It doesn't matter who's doing it or why they're doing it or what platform they own. These are the platforms that everyone uses. So you're still rubbing out certain ideas and certain forms of speech from certain people. And the people that are in control of these rules and make up these rules just so happen to all be left-wing, but it's not the left-wing that are censoring people, is it? No, it's totally not the left-wing trying to control everything and make everything left-wing and anything that isn't left-wing is not allowed. It's not that. No, it's not that. It's not something that, you know, like an authoritarian dictatorship would do. This is the problem with the left, is they're in charge even when they're not in charge. You can have a conservative right-wing government, but the left are still in charge of where everyone speaks. That's why it's such a big deal that Elon Musk bought Twitter, because it's like punctured a hole in this bubble that's been formed, you know? It's like, oh, you can't go on Twitter anymore, you can't go on X because it's just full of Nazis, say the left. Because everyone's a Nazi, you see. So another one is you might hear someone talk about a left-winger who got banned, as if this disproves the theory that left-wingers are banning right-wingers. No, people on the left get banned as well. First of all, most of the time it's what I just explained, where they get sort of threatened with cancellation and a slap on the wrist, but they don't get banned. They just get in trouble for a couple of months. But then they don't get banned. And then when a left-winger actually does get banned, what do they get in trouble for? They got in trouble for not being far left enough. They got in trouble for breaking the left-wing made-up rules. Like I said, right-wingers don't recognise hate speech as a real thing that should be punished in any way. It's a left-wing concept. So if a left-winger gets banned for breaking the left-wing rules, that's still the left-wing controlling everything because you weren't left enough for the left. So you got banned. So it just actually adds to what I'm saying. It doesn't take anything away from it, all right? So, left-wingers get banned too. It's not just right-wingers. Yeah, the left get banned from the left as well, or threatened with it. Jesus Christ. It's not difficult to understand. Well, it is if you live in the left-wing bubble, you live in your left-wing world, and you think that it's the world. So that's kind of like the 2010s Trump administration take one, the left needs to control everything because the right wing are winning. You see, this is what's going on. It's like the left need to control everything and need to ban you from saying certain things, because what politics is it's a bunch of people presenting ideas to the general public. It's like, we could govern like this, or we could govern like that. We could have this policy, or we could have that policy. And when you lay all of these ideas out, the general public tend to go with the right-wing idea because it's usually the most sensible one. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that the most sensible ideas are actually on the right. I'm so sorry about that. My deepest apologies for saying such treacherous, evil things, all right? But that's the truth, is given the option, most people choose the most sensible option. So the left can't win. They can't get the vote. So they have to rub out the opposition. And if the opposition doesn't exist, or it's deemed as the worst thing you could possibly be in our culture, then you're going to go with the left because you're like, oh, I want to be a good person. Oh, you don't even know what right-wing views are. You think it's some sort of Nazi shit. Right? So it's like, that's the game, is you've got to rub out right-wingers and create a left-wing bubble so that everyone is left-wing. That's the norm. And there's a weird little fringe group, a little small group of extreme right-wingers that are trying to take over. Even though a common complaint of the left when they see these, like, here's an example. Have you ever heard about the alternative media? Oh, alternative media is getting too big and too popular and people are believing in all this stuff. And it's all this right-wing stuff. It's all this right-wing conspiracy theory and dangerous extremist right-wing alternative media that's brewing. Oh, it's growing. Oh, and we're so scared of how big and popular it is. And it's like, yeah, because even despite you trying to push it out and squish it down, it's still the popular view. People are gravitating towards sense and truth. And obviously there is some bullshit. There's always bullshit. There's bullshit on the right, there's bullshit on the left. But the left is 100% pure, stinking bullshit. But it's all you've got. You think it's all there is to offer. The alternative media, the right-wing media, is where it's at. And then there's some bullshit sprinkled in there that you need to decipher from the real shit. But just think about that for a second. Just think about if the alternative media is right-wing, and that's why it's so dangerous and scary and bad. Well, if the alternative media is right-wing, what does that make the mainstream media? If the alternative media is the alternative, they're using the word alternative as if it's like this small thing, like this extra, you know, it's an alternative. Maybe you could go for this. This is the real thing, but then there's the alternative. But at the same time, they're complaining about how big and scary and popular it is. And most of these right-wing alternative media shows have like a zillion times more viewers than any of the mainstream left-wing shows. Because once again, they admit what they're doing as they deny it. They deny that the mainstream media is left-wing. They claim it's objective, it's the news. If they just called it the left-wing news, I'd be fine with it. If you just had left-wing news and right-wing news on telly, everyone could just watch everything, and then you'd figure it out yourself. Like, it'd be fine. But what we've got is only left-wing news allowed, only left-wing shows allowed, only left-wing comedians allowed. Everyone on TV and sitcoms are all lefties. Everyone in Hollywood, all the movies, it's all made by lefties, written by lefties, directed by lefties, acted by lefties. Everything's left-wing. And the big problem with the alternative media is that it's all right-wing. Because you see, Hollywood isn't left-wing and the mainstream media isn't left-wing. All these lefties all over TV, they're not left-wing, they're just normal people. And there's these crazy extremists in the alternative underworld. Now, that's the real world piercing through your bullshit, okay? Sorry, I'm so sorry about this. I know you thought you had it all under control and everything's going your way, but it's not. The truth is, the right-wing point of view, here it is. People who are politically engaged, the people that are politically engaged, there's the right-wingers, the left-wingers, and the people that are more centrist. But then there's a bunch of people in the middle that aren't really politically engaged. And those are the types of people that just sort of go along with the crowd. They don't really like, they're not committed to anything. They sort of go, oh, imagine if you just said to everyone, imagine if you're just with like 100 people and you go, hey, let's all go to the beach. There's some people that will go, yeah, I want to go to the beach. And there's some people that go, nah, I hate the beach. But then the majority of them would just be people that are going to go along with what everyone else is going along with. They go, well, if you're going to the beach, I'll come. I'll come to the beach. If you're not going to the beach, then okay, I won't. We'll stay here. Whatever everyone else is doing. So if the people that really don't want to go to the beach try and silence the people that do want to go to the beach and also make out that they're the worst fucking people in the world. Oh my God, if you want to go to the beach, you're evil. Right? Then the other people that just go along with stuff, they're going to not go to the beach because they're thinking, oh, I'm just doing what everyone else is doing. But that's not what everyone else is doing. That's what one group has made it look like you should be doing. You know? So like I said, if you had on TV left-wing stuff and right-wing stuff, the average person would end up being a right-winger, I'm telling you. That's why you're not allowed right-wing stuff on TV. The only way the left can win is when the right doesn't exist. And there's a fringe group of crazy right-wingers and they're the worst people ever and you don't want to be them. And that's all you're getting on TV and in movies. And on the internet, because they're banning everyone on the internet.